Here we are, day 150 of this running journey. 216 days to go until the Brighton Marathon next year. So plenty of time, and to think that I've got the same amount of time again, plus an extra couple of months before I'm actually going to be setting foot in Brighton on that very day, really fills me with a lot of confidence, a lot of hope, a lot of positivity. It's been a tough 30 days actually. It sort of, I guess, documents my recovery. I did quite a few videos on it, so I won't go into huge detail, but essentially I injured my left knee, and that took me out of the game for a while. And because my knowledge was quite limited of the necessity to rest for recovery, I didn't allow myself that time. I just believed that I could do a little bit of light work and then I'll be able to get back, if you like, on my feet and back out there and continue doing what I was doing. That really wasn't the case. I pushed myself far too soon. Was far too quick to try and just dive back in at the same pace, and it just didn't really do me any favours. However, it's a lesson learned, and it's one of those situations where until you are in that situation, you don't really anticipate it. So I never expected that I would get injured, if you like. I just assumed that I was doing really, really well. I was going great guns. There was no real issues or concerns. And then all of a sudden, bang, there it was. And, I really obviously put that down to a couple of things, but I think I just did too much too soon. And I took for granted that my body would be able to cope. Considering that I'd never really done any kind of running before, to suddenly do a 10k followed by a 15k followed by a half marathon distance in the space of about 10 days wasn't the most sensible move, but at the time I was quite naive to it, and therefore we are where we are. But last 30 days has been interesting. It's allowed me to reflect, and it's forced me to think more carefully about my training plan. I now have a really good training plan thanks to John. Thank you, John. I shall post a link to your channel down below. If you're not already subscribed to John, please do so now, because it's really given me kind of a reset, an opportunity to start to reflect on the process to becoming a better runner, rather than just heading out every single night doing the same thing, hoping to get quick, hoping to get a longer distance out of it. It's not been the case. So I've become far better at incorporating those different types of runs, the interval training, the tempo runs, the use of the gym, the use of a rest day. I mean, that's been the one really. It's been quite hard to do, to train myself into this idea of just not doing anything. The purpose of the easy run, the purpose of a long run, rather than just trying to go for speed and distance without really any concern as to why I should be doing the things I'm doing. I thought more about my nutrition, more about recovery, and it's been, like I say, it's been a real interesting 30 days. It's been a tough 30 days. I guess physically, I'm becoming more strong. Mentally, I'm becoming more strong. And the theory of running has become something that I've been really, really interested in. I've done a lot of research. I've taken the time to apply certain strategies to see if they work for me, because every runner's different, in the same way that everybody can recommend a different pair of shoes. Everywhere you turn, there are chances to learn something new, and I've been really blessed to have the community around me to encourage me, which I'm forever grateful for. And obviously, when you've got the internet at your fingertips, there's no limitations to what you can find out if you just sit down and take the time to do so. An announcement, I suppose, that I'm due to do any day now. The reason why I've kind of held back on it is because, let me tell you what it is first of all. So I was approached last week by a charity called Mind. I don't know if they're necessarily global. I definitely know that they're big in this country, in England, and it's a mental health charity. And I was really blessed that they reached out to me and they asked me if I would consider running for them in the Brighton Marathon, because when I signed up for Brighton Marathon, I just did it as an individual person. There was no charity connection there, and at the time I was so limited with my experience in running. It was highly likely that most charities would have expected somebody with a little bit of background to take part, because their places are limited, and you can't just sign up for the fun of it and then not obviously deliver. So I purchased my own place at the marathon, and then they reached out to me, and of course I was more than willing to accept. So I'm genuinely touched that they would consider me to run as part of their team, and really motivated to do just the best job I can for them. It's a charity that I care a lot about, and I think working in education, I'm seeing the mental health side of things really come to the forefront. I will do a separate video on it because it does need me to really give some proper time to it, and I need to give the justice that it deserves, and the awareness. It needs to be something that I spend some time over. But essentially, I'm going to be running for them, and I will be fundraising on their behalf as well. So whilst the day is going to be special, it's going to be kind of another level now. And like I said, I've been really excited about the announcement. I'm waiting to receive their charity pack so I can share some more information with you, give some facts and figures. Like I said, a standalone video, so those who are interested can really get involved, and it might be something that you just dip into and just watch to see if you can gain some context. I'll also give a link to their website down below. Again, it makes for, I think, interesting reading. It's a website that's got lots of simple to access information, and it might be something that intrigues you, interests you. So yeah, that's a really big moment, I suppose, for me. And I know that they approach people who have signed up as individuals, but the fact is they didn't have to, and they did. And I've been in communication with them, and I'm hoping that there's a future relationship that I can have with the charity from an education point of view. We'll just see how things go. But yeah, 150 days. Like I said, I've got to be pleased with my progress. I'm absolutely loving it. I can't get enough of it. And what's, I suppose, interesting for me is it's something that I had never considered doing, and the fact that it's actually brought me so much joy, a joy that I didn't know I could experience in something like this. It's just sort of overwhelming sometimes. I just sit back and think about how far I've come, and I think about the journey ahead, and I feel with nothing but excitement and happiness when I think about it. So thank you so much to all the subscribers, and thank you to the people that have been there from the start, and thank you to the people that have joined recently. It's been such a fun journey, and I'm looking forward to documenting every single step for the next 216 days. And that won't be the end. When I get to that 216th day, there will be more to come. I should also mention that I did also book myself for a half marathon that's about a month before Brighton Marathon. That's not going to be something that I'm going to go for. Speed is actually sort of part of my kind of warm-up. I just want to do the half marathon, and it's at the most stunning location. It's at Hampton Court, and again, I'll put a link down below, because if you are in England and you have not experienced Hampton Court, you should absolutely do it. And if you're from an international location, should you visit the United Kingdom and England, you should definitely make your way to Hampton Court. But you get to run along the River Thames, and I suspect it will be as beautiful as I'm hoping in my head. Anyway, 150 days of running. Thank you so much for your continued support. It means a huge amount to me. This channel was started just for me to look back on in years to come, and the fact that I've got any subscribers at all is really, really heartwarming. So thank you very much, and here's to the future.